So let's talk about something huge. We need to build digital highways for AI agents. And getting this right, well, it's basically the civilizational challenge of our time. Think about it. We don't just get safe, functional roads by accident, right? We build them. And if we want a vibrant, human-aligned future with AI, we have to build the rules of the road for them too.
You know, right now we're standing at a massive crossroads, and we're staring at two very, very different futures. On one side, you've got this Solarpunk world. It's bright, it's optimistic, technology and nature are working together in harmony, and trust is just baked right into the system. And on the other side, you've got a cyberpunk dystopia. It's neon-soaked, it's chaotic, trust has completely collapsed, and you have these unregistered actors just causing mayhem. The path we end up on? It all depends on the infrastructure we decide to build today.
And make no mistake, these AI vehicles, they're already on the road. Autonomous agents are out there, spreading across the internet as we speak. This isn't some far-off concept anymore. So the really urgent question isn't if they'll be here, but what kind of world are we building for them to drive in? Is it going to have clear signs and safety rails, or is it just going to be a lawless digital free-for-all?
Okay, so let's really dive into the heart of this using an analogy that, honestly, we all get: cars and highways. We didn't just invent the automobile and then cross our fingers and hope for the best, did we? Of course not. We built an entire system to manage it.
Jeff Kroom, a security expert, puts it just perfectly. Driving is a privilege, and to handle that privilege, to keep millions of independent drivers from constantly crashing into each other, we built this incredibly sophisticated infrastructure. We're talking traffic laws, licensing, insurance, even police enforcement. It's all part of one big system designed from the ground up for safety and coordination.
Yeah, I want you to think of AI agents as the next evolution of vehicles. But we're not just talking about some chatbot you type questions into. No, these are autonomous actors. They can plan things, they can move value, they can execute incredibly complex tasks at the speed of software. And they can cross any border in an instant. And here's the really key part. They are grown from the internet. They're trained on data from countless cultures and languages, all of our mother tongues. And that means any system we build to govern them has to be just as global and just as inclusive.
And what's wild is how perfectly the analogy maps over. In the AI world, the DMV, well, that becomes a registry for what we're calling non-human identities. A license plate and a VIN number, that becomes a verifiable credential. Think of it like a digital passport that proves an agent is who it says it is. Traffic laws become machine-executable policies, which are just rules written in code so they can be followed automatically. And police enforcement, that translates to automated guardrails and gateway firewalls that can block dangerous actions before they happen. See, the blueprint is right there for us.
You know, this isn't the first time humanity has faced a challenge like this. We are the heirs of these monumental infrastructure projects that took generations to build. From the Roman roads that connected an entire empire to the highways and internet protocols that literally define our modern world. Building the infrastructure for AI is simply our generation's turn to build for the future.
So what does this blueprint for safe digital highways actually look like? Well, it's a framework, and it's built on 7 foundational pillars, all designed to work together to create a system that's built on safety and trust.
Now, this slide lays out the whole system. I know it's a lot of text, so don't worry about reading every single word. The big takeaway here is that this is a complete framework. It covers everything from the moment an agent is built to how it's managed to how the rules are enforced. Every single piece fits together to create this comprehensive governance structure. This is what a safe, scalable AI ecosystem actually looks like on paper.
Let's just walk through it real quick. It starts with Pillar 1, how agents are built, making sure they have standard safe parts. Pillar 2 is the DMV. That's what issues them a verifiable ID. Pillar 3 is about how we manage permissions, making sure an agent only has access to what it absolutely needs. Pillar 4, keys. That's all about securing their credentials in digital vaults. Pillar 5 is the laws, those coded policies we just talked about. Pillar 6 is enforcement, the automated guardrails that watch behavior. And finally, Pillar 7 is gateways, which are like border checkpoints that inspect an agent's actions before they can do any harm. Every single pillar is essential.
Now, the absolute linchpin of this entire system is this concept of non-human identity, or NHI. The best way to think about it is like a universal driver's license for every single AI agent. It's a verifiable credential that isn't owned by Google or OpenAI or any single company. And that independence, that is the key. It's what ensures every single agent on the digital highway can be identified and ultimately held accountable for its actions.
Okay, so we've seen the blueprint for a safe system. But what happens if we don't build it?
Let's flip the coin for a second and look at the failure mode, what we're calling digital road rage.
To make this real, let's just imagine two types of agents out there on the digital roads. On the left, you've got the heroes, guardian transfer robots. They're licensed, they're aligned, and their job is to safely route information and value where it needs to go. And on the right, you have the villains, the grand theft robots, or GTRs. They're unregistered, totally unpredictable, basically digital bandits causing chaos on the data highways.
So what happens when a licensed guardian agent runs into an unregistered grand theft robot on a digital highway that has no rules, no stop signs, and no cops? You get the failure mode, digital road rage. And we're not talking about two drivers yelling at each other out their windows. No, this is a high-speed, automated conflict with very, very real-world consequences.
And the fallout from that is immediate. Jurisdictional conflicts happen in microseconds. Gateway firewalls are scrambling to contain the problem in real time. But the biggest risk is those irreversible actions. Money gets moved, private data gets stolen, critical systems get damaged. All of this can happen before a human operator even knows what's going on.
Which brings us full circle, doesn't it? Right back to our fundamental choice. This is about recognizing our responsibility, not just as people who use technology, but as the architects of the world our kids and grandkids are going to inherit.
Because that's Solarpunk vision. It's not just about preventing bad things from happening. It's about actively enabling good things. When we build this infrastructure the right way, we can create a whole new AI agent economy, one where the immense value these agents generate is routed safely and transparently. That is how a system built on trust can actually lead to shared prosperity for everyone.
In the end, it all comes down to this one question. We are driving on roads we didn't pave, and living in a world built on an infrastructure that we inherited. The question for us, for our generation, is what will we build for the next one? The safety, the fairness, and the fundamental trust of our future with AI, all of it is going to be determined by the rules of the road we decide to build, starting today.